What would you think would be the best and worst thing about being a woman?
The best thing about being a woman is you have tits, and you actually have like a lot more opportunity. So like, if there's like opportunity for like using your body and stuff like that, you know, like guys don't have that opportunity. Like girls don't like seeing your dick. Guys like seeing your tits. So I think that's a bonus. Worst thing about being a woman is they're not funny at all. I think their jokes are shit. If they think that they're funny, they're probably like a 5 out of 10 funny. Okay. Funny to their friends.
Girls are powerful. Girls are strong. Girl boss. You can do whatever you want. Be a strong woman.
Okay. Are beautiful women more privileged or disadvantaged by their looks?
Both.
Okay, well, they're definitely both, but...
So thank you for asking that.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, there's definitely disadvantages, but I mean, if the privileges didn't outweigh the disadvantages, would any woman ever bother getting plastic surgery?
Well, see, that's the thing. I had a reduction of my breasts. They're still large, and I still get too much attention, and that's why I got rid of them. But being attractive, you still always get attention from men, and I don't know how to say you don't want it because you don't want it, but then you do want it, right?
Right. Well, let me ask you this. Would you be willing to give up the occasional unwanted attention, catcalling, harassment, if it meant you never got any attention whatsoever or special treatment from men?
Exactly. That's the whole key, because exactly, I hate the attention, but then when I feel unattractive and I don't get the attention, it's like, I don't love that either.
So wouldn't that be like saying I want to be a celebrity, but I never want to deal with paparazzi?
Exactly.
Well, I'm just saying, isn't that like saying I want all the privileges without any of the accountability that comes with it?
Exactly.
Well, isn't that having your cake and eating it too?
Yep.
Okay, but is that fair?
No, and that's what I hate about all of it, because that's what's so hard about raising a child too, where I'm like, it's not about looks. And
if there was one thing you wish men understood better about women, what would it be?
I would say the fact that there really is an orgasm gap, and men need to understand that and realize that when you have sex, guys are probably going to get off, but girls, it's a lot harder for us to do that. So they need to understand that and own that.
Why do women expect men to be good in bed if getting laid is such a hard thing for men to acquire?
Because pussy rules the world.
Why do women often talk about how they secretly run the world, but then also complain about how they're so oppressed?
Yeah, that I don't get, because I don't think women secretly run the world. I think we're girl bosses when we want to be, of course. But no, we don't run the world.
Some women complain about the fact that we live in a man's world, because how hard it is to live in a man's world, because we try to... They don't give us enough credit. They don't give us enough credit. That's true. I agree. They don't give us enough credit.
How much is enough credit? Like, what do you want men to do that they're not doing already?
I feel like... let me think. Say what you want to say. Ask the question again.
You mentioned that men don't give women enough credit, so I'm asking, like, what specifically are you not getting from men that you want, like, as far as credit? Like, what do you want?
As far as, you know, men hold us a title to things, like we only supposed to, you know, be at home and do only cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. And it's actually women that can go out here and do the same thing that men do, you know. So I just feel like they hold us a title. Our title is so low, but without us, they wouldn't know what to do. They would not know what to do. And I feel like...
Know what to do as far as what?
Like how, like how us women can take different things and put it together as far as meal-wise, like cooking and cleaning and watching the kids. You cannot find a man that can do all that.
But hold on, I mean, aren't there are men who are chefs, and there are men who, you know, are single dads, so I mean, it is possible.
That's true, But with a woman, it's going to come natural. With that man, he's going to ask questions.
Do you think beautiful women are more privileged or disadvantaged by their looks?
I think they're more privileged by their looks, 100%. I think a look can take a girl a long way. I think the way that a girl uses her looks can bring her a far way in life, 100%.
Does a woman's level of physical attractiveness affect her behavior and potential for status?
Yeah, 100%. I think some girls like might get ahead of themselves. They might get egotistical about it. Some ways that they might act, if they're like better looking, they might think that they're like on a higher class, and they might look for things that are like better, which is obviously good, because like if you're like a good-looking guy, you probably look for the same thing.
We literally get paid to take pictures with people.
Right,
like,
we get free rides, stuff like that.
Free rides,
like free drinks, stuff, small
daily.
things
I get free stuff daily, like free weed, free everything. You can ask me to get anything, I'll get it for free. I don't have to give up vagina. I don't have to kiss nobody. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to work. I literally make my rent off taking pictures of people. I really walk down the street. I get hella free rides, hella free shit. I literally just got paid $200 to sweep and mop a house today, just because I was pretty. And men just don't get that.
Right.
But a man can be cute as fuck.
Well, tell me this then. Like, with all those privileges that you just listed, that so many women, you know, have access to, why do you think there are so many women who complain about just how difficult it is to be a woman in our society?
Because bitches are.
I feel like women think that it's hard to be, like, to be in our society. Oh, never mind.
No, yeah, bitches are just hella we're spoiled. Like, I went to a crab shack today, and I'm used to having like people open my crab for me, and I literally had to open my own legs, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, we're just so spoiled. We get everything we want whenever we want.
You shouldn't have to open your legs. You should be able to keep your legs closed.
Oh yeah,
No,
I
I'm
always
just
keep
kidding.
my legs. I get everything.
Your crab legs, not your legs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? No, I know, I'm kidding. Okay.
They don't take them seriously because they looking at the fact that they are beautiful, and they're not understanding that they also have a brain. They're not understanding that they also have something to contribute as far as knowledge-wise. You're looking at them having beauty, and you're not realizing that they have more to offer than just beauty.
Here's the thing, okay? There are definitely disadvantages. I will agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if beautiful women were not more privileged, would any woman ever bother getting plastic surgery?
You have a point. You have
so
a
the
point.
privileges absolutely outweigh the disadvantages.
Mm-hmm. You're
and
right.
who's more likely to get plastic surgery, men or women?
Women.
Women. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously a woman. Okay, so let me ask you this: does a woman's level of physical attractiveness affect her behavior and potential for status?
Yes.
It
I
does.
think
How?
Because, okay, so the reason why is because men have a shallow mindset. Now, I'm not talking down on men, because we need men as well. We need women and we need men. We need a balance. But they have a shallower mindset, I feel like, and a lot of times the actual physical view is more important to them than the mental view.
Well, what they say is men fall in love with their eyes, women fall in love with their ears. Do you ever hear that expression?
Yes, I agree with that expression.
Okay. Now here's the thing, okay? Would you agree that men objectify women sexually?
Yes.
Okay, would you also agree that women also tend to objectify men financially?
Yes.
Okay, because men are success objects, women are sex objects, women are beauty objects.
Correct.
Is it harder to create or to maintain value?
Is it harder to create or maintain value? I feel like they're both equally obtainable. They're equally obtainable.
Is the pressure greater on men to be successful or on women to be beautiful?
I'll say definitely that's equal. That's equal.
Well, don't men...
Nope, it's not equal actually, because a woman, she mostly just has to provide sex for you for the most part.
Well, don't men typically have to create their success while women just have to maintain their beauty? I mean, are men typically born with the muscles, money, and status that attract most women?
Not every man, because even me, like I was pretty thin, malnutrition, so not every man, but the select few definitely.
So then aren't women born with inherent value while men have to create their value from scratch?
Are women born with value? And
I mean, aren't your average man is more likely to find your average woman attractive than your average woman will find your average man attractive? Isn't that true?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Now,
okay, so aren't women born with, you know, the natural assets that attract most men, but men aren't typically born with the natural assets that attract most women?
Yeah, because for the most part, if a woman throws some coochie, she throws some little head at you, then she's going for the most part win.
If all women should be considered beautiful, does that mean that all men can be successful?
All women, No, that definitely would not be able to happen. Definitely.
Right, but we do say that all women are beautiful, so why don't we say that all men are successful?
I guess, yeah, it's not fair.
It's not equal. It's a double standard. How do nightclubs get away with charging men a higher admission fee than women? Isn't that sexist?
Oh, I agree. I always wondered, like, why women get in for free. Like, I think that is definitely a double standard.
I definitely agree. I think like there should be a men's night as well, instead like women's are normally Thursdays, right? And I think there should be a men's night as well.
Okay, and so if private companies can get away with that type of sexism, why shouldn't private companies get away with a gender pay gap?
Ooh, see, that's hard because, yeah.
I just don't think you can base wage of worth ethic on gender.
I don't think it's sexist. I think the fact that girls can get in more keeps it from being a sausage fest. I know all guys would want to go to the club and they'd want to have more girls there than guys. So
I feel like it attracts more guys when they see hot females. So it's a marketing tactic, if anything. So it makes sense.
Don't you think women would complain if they were the ones expected to pay more?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I think if I was a man, I would probably be a little bit upset about that too, to be completely honest.
If private companies can get away with that type of sexism, why shouldn't private companies get away with a gender pay gap?
That is a good question. I think that it comes down to accountability on all parts, right? Like, we recognize that there's a problem in equality with men and women, and whether that's women benefiting getting into clubs for free or men benefiting getting paid more, I think that conversation starts with us admitting that there's a problem and everybody owning it. Like, let's live in this world together as equals, and both sides need to step up to the table and do the work that it takes to be recognized.
So why do the people who say they want equality only complain about the double standards that don't benefit them?
Can you elaborate on that more?
Well, I'll just repeat the question.
Okay.
So why do the people who say they want equality only complain about the double standards that don't benefit them?
I don't know. I would say I'm someone who is for equality. And like I said, like last night, like we were able to get into clubs for free and do a lot of things that guys probably wouldn't be able to do, but we're here advocating for equality on both sides. So I think it really depends on the person you talk to.
Well, how likely are you going to see a woman at a club saying, "In the name of fairness, I demand that you charge me full price"?
I mean, I think if you flip that question, like you're not going to see a man who's getting paid $100,000 a year compared to a woman who's getting paid $75,000 a year. You're not going to see that guy demanding that she gets paid the equal amount. So I feel like that flips on both sides.
But don't you see men going to women's marches, you know, supporting women's issues?
I think on and off. I think it depends on...
So aren't there already men out there, like, kind of fighting for equality for women? Why are you more likely to see men fighting for women's issues than you see women fighting for men's issues?
Men fight for women's issues, do they?
Well, don't men go to women's marches and identify as feminists?
I've never seen it.
There are plenty of men, actually, who do.
I would love to see it.
So you never seen a man at a women's march?
No.
You never seen a male feminist?
I've heard of it, but I would love to see it. Yay!
Why don't women just start identifying as men to get higher pay, and men start identifying as women in order to get free drinks at ladies' nights?
At the rate America's going, that wouldn't surprise me.
Right, literally.
Gender pay gap, I think, like I said before, girls have equal opportunity. I think there's a lot of ways that girls can make pay other ways, other than like jobs and stuff. There's a lot of like other places, like if they have a good looking whatever, they can make like a lot more money somewhere like in other places. So I think...
Okay, does the fact that OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
Yeah, because I think there's a double standard there, because it's like a lot of girls that say, oh, like they're like all this, and they're like, oh, like all about like feminism, whatever, blah, blah, and that they're like super important. But then they put themselves out there and they think like, oh, I'm going to show my body, all that shit. And like you're basically putting yourself there and saying like, I'm basically like not all that, not all of what I've been saying.
If private companies can get away with that type of sexism, why shouldn't private companies get away with a gender pay gap?
There's not a gender pay gap. That's complete bullshit.
Is sexism only bad when it happens to women?
No. Definitely not, because like sexism can go both ways. It's the same with racism. Like not only white people can be racist to black people can also be racism to white people. So it's like I think it can go both ways.
Is sexism only bad when it happens to women?
I don't really know a guy that cares if sexism happens. So yes and no, but I think every guy currently is like, yeah, bring it.
A man can give you a house, but a woman gives you a home. A man can give you, I don't know what we can say on this, but a man can give you sperm, but a woman can give you a child. A man can give anything that a man gives a woman, we make it greater.
Oh, I like.
You can give us anything, we will make it greater. You can give us groceries, we will make a meal.
Right.
You can give us a vehicle, and we make a trip. I don't know, that wasn't that good.
Who is responsible for pregnancy, the man or the woman?
Both?
Okay. Why do women claim to be the creators of life when the child is wanted, but when the pregnancy is unplanned, it suddenly becomes the man's fault for not wearing a condom?
I don't have that mentality, so I can't relate.
Right. I mean, it's both consensual. You know, you literally let a guy go inside you knowing that the possibility is...
Yeah, I don't think like that. So
Men are probably more responsible than women as far as birth is concerned, because a man can impregnate one woman. A man can impregnate 9 women within 1 month. A woman can only be pregnant one time within 1 month. So honestly, I feel like birth control should be in a man's hands. That's just my opinion.
Okay, but don't women ultimately decide who gets sex and who gets born?
That's correct. We ultimately decide who gets sex and who gets born, but a man can impregnate 9 women in 1 day.
Have to say at the end of the day, it will be the woman, me personally, because she has to make the decision. Should she either keep the baby or abort the baby?
Well, aren't women ultimately the ones who decide who gets sex and who gets born?
For the most part, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Why do women claim to be the creators of life when the child is wanted, but when the pregnancy is unplanned, it suddenly becomes the man's fault for not wearing a condom?
This goes back to the first segment. A lot of women don't want to take accountability for their own actions. That's the truth.